Hi, welcome to the Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch, and usually we like to talk to people within the community that I think that you will find interesting to hear from, and I like to hear from them as well, and they have something interesting to say. But I will have to say that this is a very serious topic today. I was driving down the road at one point, and I saw a flyer for a sign up around Allsop, and it was about a young man who murdered Ellis Cox and everything. And basically, joining me today is his auntie and mom, who want to be able to share their story about Ellis, about what happened, because they're also still determined to find out who's responsible. So I'd like to introduce my guests. That would be Cad Cox and Julie O'Toole. How you guys doing?
Hi. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Well, thank you very much for joining me here on our show and everything else like that, because I do agree that you have to find all kind of options to get the word out there, to get the attention, and always to keep the memory of Ellis in your hearts and in the hearts of everyone around you. Now, basically, for those who may or may not know the story and everything, and they may have seen the sign like I did and everything, can you share us, like in a short bite, like what had happened with Ellis on this fateful night, which was June 23rd?
Do you want me to again? I'll. So on the 23rd of June, 24, it was a really lovely sunny day, and Ellis was home, and it was around 4:30, and he told us that he was going to go on a bike ride, but he didn't have a bike, and he was going to join some friends, not at the house. He was going to join them sort of a little bit later on, and they were waiting for him. Actually, his phone was going, and he was like, they'd probably tell him to hurry up, get your bike, come and meet us. And the plan was that they were going to get the train to Southport and then ride back, because it was such a lovely day.
Yeah.
So it was about 4:30, and he asked, has anyone got a bike? And because obviously he was 19 and he was learning to drive, and I think his bike was probably in the shed somewhere, I guess. But he asked for a bike, and he came along with me and my husband to get one, and off he went. Went to meet his friends, boys that we didn't know. Carolyn didn't know before, hadn't met before, but he went off to meet them to go on the bike ride. And I think the biggest thing that obviously I was worried about, definitely, and when I spoke to him as he went, was just be careful, there's some crazy people on the roads,
And you don't know who was with,
Yeah, and we didn't know who, obviously, he was going with, and, Cag knows his friends, his best friends, and obviously he was only ever with them or his family, so there was not anyone that we knew. So off he went to go meet those friends and, go on the bike ride, so... And obviously then the events unfolded as the night went on.
Now, as you said, Cag, is that he was in touch with you throughout the evening and everything, but then you got kind of like the last call from him saying, I'm only about 5 minutes away, can you put my tea on? Yeah. What mom doesn't know this call, she's just thankful that, okay, you're close by, I'll put the tea on and everything, but then it's goes way past 5 minutes. Yeah. Obviously that had to be a horrifying time for you and everything, but can you take us to the point where you were told to come to the hospital?
Yeah, when Ellis said he was only a few minutes away, I could relax, because I knew he was right by home. So throughout the day I worried, and I rung him. So when he said, I'm just 5 minutes to warm his tea, I felt relieved that he was close to home. And then when he took longer than he said, I just presumed he just got talking.
Yeah.
That's a thought. He's still talking away, he won't be long. And then I can't remember how much time passed, because I was waiting for him. Then my brother phoned me and said, is Ellis home? And I said, no. I said, I've warmed his tea up and now it's gone back cold. I said, he must just be still gabbing. And he said, no, his best friend's just phoned me to say he's in the hospital. So presumed he's fell off the bike, he's broke a bone, as mums do.
Yeah.
So then my brother come to get me. We went to the hospital. The only information we had that was that Ellis was in the hospital. So the lady on the desk said, okay, I'll go and see if I can find him, wait in this room. But we waited in this little room, but it felt like a really, really long time.
It would, yeah.
They were looking for him, and we didn't understand why they just couldn't say, there's Ellis.
Yeah, just go to this room, yeah?
Yeah. So we was getting a bit agitated as why it was taking that long. So then my brother went to see the nurse and said, you know, why can't you find him? Sort of thing. And then I think another nurse came in to say, have I got a recent photograph of Ellis? Which I did, because he just had his haircut, which is this one. Because it was a famous day for him to have his haircut. He's had long hair for a very, very long time. So that's why you had that photo of him.
But then suddenly, sorry, Kay. Thank you for sharing that. I know this would be really difficult for you. Julie, basically other friends started to show up, right?
Yeah.
And everything. And when did you guys eventually hear about what happened?
Yeah, it, like Kag says, it felt like we were just in this room forever, and I don't even know how much time passed. I'll be honest, I couldn't even tell you now. I think such a long time passed, and there was people coming in and out, and people turning up, and you know, just everyone who loved Ellis.
Yeah,
it felt like every single person was there, and it was a fair bit of time before anyone came in, and then eventually, after a long time, people in and out. We didn't know what was going on. Obviously, we didn't know the extent of anything, because it was just frustrating, just trying to figure out why they're keeping us in this room. You know, you've never been in this position before, would never want to be in it again, but you just don't know. So we kind of just had to be patient and wait, and eventually someone came in and kind of looked up to someone. I remember this man in a suit looked up to someone and said, now, basically, give him a nod, and then they told us that Ellis had passed away, and then it was just kind of everything just erupted then. And
your husband had to identify him for you and everything.
Yeah.
So now this became a police matter, which, as you said, you wanted to thank the efforts of the Riverside Police, and you also are showcasing Crime Stoppers because you want to know what happened. Over this time, you've been managed to piece several different pieces together, but you don't have the complete puzzle. And that's pretty much what you're doing, is appealing to people out there who may or may not know any little bits of information that you could grab onto. And obviously, hopefully, people can understand how important this is, not just to these women, but to your whole family. And also too is that people out there could be out there have done such a horrific event. So basically, where we're at now is that you're saying how you're facing a wall of silence. Which, as your signs display, silence is not an option. You're looking for help. You're scouring CCTV. But basically, let's talk about what you're looking for. They're still looking for the gun. The police have not managed to find that.
No.
They're also looking for the bikes. Right? These were the bikes that the other lads were on.
Yes.
So we're talking about at least 3 to 4 lads that are still that they're looking for, because I think you said they found some names. And not like we were trying to get the names out, but you're saying that.
No, it was the names of the boys Ellis was with. So
I see. Okay.
So we don't know anything other than that. I think, well, obviously we know the boys' names now who Ellis was with. We know that there was the police have publicised that there was 3 people on 2 Sarons on the loop line who did this. So we want obviously if we could find the weapon, that would be amazing. Obviously, I'm sure that's a key piece of evidence, but also the bikes. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the loop line, for example.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, obviously, you're from the neighborhood. I said I did do some teaching at Archbishop Beck, and I think I found myself down there because what you're saying is that, tell us about that route. You said that they came through Everton Cemetery, then they went through the woods by Tascas, but you've uncovered CCTV at Tascas, didn't you?
Yeah. There's CCTV that obviously captures what happened, but because the people who did this were hiding
because
in the bushes,
so they knew where the cameras were.
Yeah.
But also, strangely enough, you mentioned how cameras seemingly were destroyed just the day before.
Yeah.
Local cameras.
Yeah.
Which is suspicious. But what I'm trying to get to is this area, this grassy area near the train tracks.
Yes.
Because I know I've been through that myself.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not from here, but I've been through there. So if we're looking for a gun, whatever, it could possibly be there. Have they ever did one of those where we see it in the TV? I know.
Yeah.
Where they do the line and they walk through
they
the
search
woods.
the area. Yeah.
Have they've done
done
that?
all that. Yeah. They've absolutely.
So they've already
scoured.
searched the woods and scoured
They
them.
did. They closed off
The train tracks.
Yeah. They closed off the loop line for almost a week. I think it was. It was almost a week. They closed off the loop line and they searched the loop line for evidence. This loop line runs 11 miles long, and it's got 26 exits. So
that's what you mentioned. That out of 26 exits, they could have used
they
any
could have
one of
gone
those.
out of any exit. Yeah.
Right, and everything. So this area, though, is what would we call it, like Zackley or Waltonville?
Yeah, I think the exit we're obviously on Long Lane, I think, is classed as, I don't know, it's Aintree or but the Aintree loop line is well known. It's busy. A lot of the Uber drivers use it, delivery drivers, so they run up and down there on these, but they have to it's that dark. They have those, the camping headlights on the heads, because it's that dark. You can't see in front of you. So ideal hiding, isn't it? And it's kind of, it's a little bit of a rat run for criminality.
But even though
to
they
say
went
the least.
to Southport and rolled back from Southport, it's kind of like if you're looking at from Southport to Waltonville or something like that.
Yeah.
As kind of like a zone where maybe these lads on the bikes could be in that area.
Yeah, they could have spotted them and. Yeah,
and we're talking about Ellis was 19 at the time. Will we presume they were older or maybe around the same age, or do we have any clue?
No
clue.
No, we know obviously the boys who Ellis was with.
Because he wouldn't like hang out with older people though, would he? I mean, obviously, as you just said, it's like
school.
He didn't really know the lad, but he knew a couple of them, right? From school.
Yeah, from school.
So I mean. Not like I'm a detective or anything like that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure detectives can do all of that. But it's just the thing that I'm throwing out there. So when you've made a couple of appearances and appeals, you've been on Granada Reports, you've been on Good Morning Britain, on Lee and Campbell. What has been the response that you've received? And was there anything that that gave you hope or something?
I think the message that we continue to put out on whatever platform we go on, whoever we speak to, wherever we share any of our appeals, we get greeted with nothing other than compassion and support, and they want justice for Ellis. That's obvious, and I think what we've tried to do is really appeal to Liverpool, because Liverpool is a community of people that stick together. It feels that there's part of that community though that are sticking together for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, you use the term of like no grass culture.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting, because being a teacher for time, I mean, it would always be, hey man, you're a grass, don't be grassing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is not that kind of time to be, silent, as you say, and stuff like that, because it's not that type. So what is your feeling around the grass culture?
Yeah, we're not talking about someone who stole a bike or maybe robbed some sweets from the shop.
Yeah.
They've taken Ellis from us.
Yeah.
So someone somewhere knows exactly who it is. They will have information on that. A year has passed. There'll be people talking, whether it's their mums, dads, uncles, brothers, friends, whoever will have heard some of this and heard a version. And I think what we want to make sure is encourage people to speak up, as not think that you're bothering anyone, or you think we may have heard that before. The police have had that information. It's not worth me calling now. It's not worth me doing anything.
It's always worth it, though, because,
absolutely, yeah.
You look at, like, we're in that culture now. We're watching, like, murder podcasts, and it's always, like, it takes time, and unfortunately, too long of a time. But, people, their memories are long.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's always, you got to find somebody who's going to come up with something new because they didn't think it was important to them. Yeah. I think it might also be important to say this part of the story is that even though Ellis was killed, I mean, another person was shot in the foot.
Yeah.
Which means that this is not like just some. These are like really bad lads who, were firing upon these unsuspecting lads. Do you know what I mean? But I also thought was heartwarming was the lad who ran but came back to be with Ellis.
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about that?
We've never really spoken about that of him because we don't know him.
No, but I mean, but he was there.
But I don't know whether it's the right word, grateful. But I guess it's the fact that
he wasn't alone.
He wasn't on his own, and someone had the heart to go and make sure he wasn't on his own, and they rang an ambulance, which we are grateful for. I think is that the right word you would use?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah. No, I when you shared that part of the story, I mean that it even hits me now, because it's humanity, Okay, gotta stop. But it's just good to know that there are people who would do that, and for another person.
Yeah.
So back to the Crime Stoppers. Pretty much, everybody knows about the 101 number, but with these flyers, there's a barcode on here. And can you just explain about the barcode and what it would? Because you were saying how like even young people have phones. Could you say what will happen if somebody clicks on the barcode?
Yeah,
on the barcode on the flyer.
If they scan the barcode, that will take them straight through anonymously to Crime Stoppers. So they don't have to, rather than ringing or the web page, they scan the barcode. It will take them straight through anonymously.
But it also will take them specifically to the Crime Stoppers that is dealing with this case.
Yes.
I mean, because like if you just call up and you go through a thing, but you would go specifically to whoever is probably the detective on the case or somebody involved with the case.
Your information, and then it'll just go straight through, and it's anonymous.
Yeah.
And everything, and again, we can't express enough how we're hoping that people will do such a thing. Now, even though at the time of recording, we could still say that you have you're participating in a charity day at Sports Alive on the 8th of September?
8th of August, yeah. So on the 8th of August.
8th of August, sorry about that.
Right.
8th of August, can you tell us about that? Is that like you're just going to be there to receive information or let people have the brand awareness about what you're doing?
Yeah, I think we've went and spoke to Sports Alive charity with Leanne and Simon, who were brilliant, and we talked to the team who were out on the streets speaking to kids and support, helping these children on the streets, and they hear things, and they were really welcoming and supporting us with our appeals. and they mentioned they were having this day. So we said, can we take part? So we'll be there between 12 and 4 on Friday, the 8th of August. We'll have flyers, that you can take from us. We will also be supported by our police liaison officer, Kerry, who's amazing, and some of the team who will be there to support us. So if anyone does have any information and they want to talk to the police, and they want to go off and have a chat, they can absolutely do that. So just if anyone sees us there, if they come along for that day to support Sports Alive, then come and see us.
Nice one. And I think, as you're saying, like, you won't stop, and you're going to make another TV appeal in September or this morning, right?
Yeah. We're the beginning of September, maybe the second week. We're hoping to be on this morning, talking about Ellis, talking about our city, talking about what we need in terms of help from our community to find out that obviously who took Ellis, and anyone who's got any information, no matter how small, really just don't think, if it's irrelevant, it isn't. Let the police be the judge of that. So when we go on to this morning, we'll be talking all about that and talking about this no grass culture that we seem to be hitting with, this wall of silence from the people, or the people who know who took Ellis, and that's where we want to get to. We want to get almost under the skin of those people to understand what we're going through and help us get justice for Ellis.
I mean, the thing I want to say is just that, I do a lot of armchair detective stuff, but no, we were just talking, because we was waiting for my man Phil to come back and everything, and I just mentioned that I knew of a person who lived in that area who had CCTV and everything like that, and and then when we worked it out, it's like, well, actually it faces Taskus. Isn't that weird? It's like, and we just met today. And that's what you're talking about, is the fact that anytime you're just speaking or you're giving it a chance, somebody might go, well, I do know this or I do know that. Any bit of information just might be useful.
Absolutely. The power of just social media, for one, has been a huge, something we've never really bothered with before, so that's been absolutely massive. But just the power of connecting with people and talking to people, and again, we've been stopped in the shops, and people are telling us things that we've never heard before. It is just the power of conversation, isn't it, and connecting with people and trying to get people to get to know us and talk to us, because we're a good family, we're good people, we just want, and we don't want this happening to anyone else.
No, definitely not. And I mean, like, so as I usually say, is like, how can people find you? I mean, like, you said you don't have like social media set up as much yet, but like, if they wanted to contact you outside of the barcode or whatever, is there some way? Facebook?
We've got a few things.
You have a Facebook page? I mean, if you tell us, we'll put it on the bottom of the screen, that kind of thing.
Justice for Ellis, so Justice number 4 Ellis, and that is on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
All right, so that's Justice number 4 Ellis.
Yes.
All right, so if anybody, again, didn't have a flyer, couldn't do the barcode, but they wanted to be as helpful as they could, Justice for Ellis is available on all social platforms, from Insta to Facebook, all that, old person way of communicating. I think you did say you had it on TikTok or something, did you?
Yes,
all right, so they down with the kids. I would like to end on a quote that you said that I thought was really powerful. When it comes to Justice for Ellis, Julie said, by doing nothing, you're doing something?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Does that sound right? Does that sound right, Phil?
Yes, right. Yeah, doing nothing is doing something.
Right, doing nothing is doing something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, okay, not by doing nothing. Okay. Phil has to correct me sometimes. It's all good. Do something. That's probably what I'm really saying.
Yeah.
Looking for a call to action here, aren't we?
Yes.
That's right. Thank you, Phil. call to action. So I would like to thank you very much for joining me here in the studio. I know that this is still very strong and sensitive topic for you there, Kag, and I really do appreciate you sharing. So I would like to thank Kag Cox and Sister Julie O'Toole. Please, if you can, help in any way you can. That would be great. I'm Chase Johnson Lynch. You've been listening to the Liverpool Community Podcast. Please like and subscribe. But also, if you have any information, you can also send to us as well, and we'll send it back. So thank you very much for joining us. For now, we out of here.